Now this is the acupressure hand chart, and all of these nerves that are flowing through the body, they have got access points on the body, and also a set that you can really work with under the feet, one set on the hands and one set on the ears. And if you press these points in a pulsating kind of way, like this. I call this pointed pulsating press. It means that pressing a point perpendicular to the surface with a little pulse, almost like a heartbeat. When you do this, you send a pulse of biocurrent, or you stop and start biocurrent. It's like putting on and off a tap, Yeah, so it goes in spurts, current goes. Now the feature of these nerves are, they are running into the flesh, into the organs, on the inside them, and they are supplying energy all throughout the body. If you can feel any sensation on your body, prana has transmitted all of this to your body and to your brain. When reflex happens, prana. So the organs have these nerves inside them. Now when organs get sick, you can imagine the cellular structure. They may get sick for many different reasons. One could be malnutrition, not enough of nutrients being delivered by the blood to the organ. It could be because of toxins around the organ or foreign, inorganic substances like I mentioned yesterday. It could be parasites or other, things that are there in the cell. So the cell, you can imagine maybe the cells of the liver. When it's unhealthy, it will be a little cringed and sick. And this prana that is trying to flow in a good, healthy volume, that finds restriction when in sick organs. So instead of 100% prana flowing, only about 90, 80% or 70% or 50, 40, 30. Depends on the degree of sickness. So when we press these points, we send a pulse of biocurrent to that organ. If the organ is healthy, it takes that biocurrent and it uses it, and whatever the excess it distributes to the rest of the body. Now biocurrent is something 100% organic. The topic what I spoke on yesterday, biocurrent is 100% organic, safe. So when you send this pulse of biocurrent to the organ, it's healthy, it will pass through the organ well. If the organ needs it, it will use it. If the organ is sick, 100% of the biocurrent that you are supplying will not go through the organ. It will find resistance, and some of that biocurrent will be thrown back right along that nerve and the bunch of nerve. Now these spots are those nerves. For example, liver you can see here on the right hand side. So it means that on your right hand side there is a bunch of nerves coming from your liver, and they are having their end points here. Yes, the bigger lobe of the liver is on the right. There is a small left lobe also, so you will see it on the left hand as well. So that it follows certain symmetry. Urinary bladder that you have one, you will see it on both hands, because half of the nerves on this hand, half on the other hand. This is the urinary bladder here and here. So for a sick organ, it does not accept all the biocurrent. It throws current back to that space, and exactly at that point you get pain. So this is acupressure diagnosis, and you can diagnose all the organs of your body on your hands. And I used that for 1 year for my complete healing, and I was only working with points to my wrist. Then of course, that was the first system I learned, and it was Dr. Devendra Bora's system, Health in Your Hands, from his volume 1 and 2. That is what this gentleman had taught me, Mr. Ashwin Dalal from Bombay. And he was doing only this. Even up till today, he follows only that book and the acupressure part. So in this detection, you can check and find out which are the points that are paining. Now this weekend, next weekend on Saturday, 23rd, I am doing a 1-day full-day workshop, which is going to be teaching acupressure, diagnosis and healing. The pre-lunch session is diagnosis, and everybody will be teaching you how to diagnose all the points on your hand, spinally weak, quite weak and seriously sick, you'll be able to take that out in half an hour last time. And then the next post-lunch session, we'll just be doing, for every individual, there are 4-5 steps, a protocol, but in point 4 and 5, each person will put their individual weaknesses. So that is part of the workshop that I'm doing. The rest is about diet and internal organ cleansing. It's all, the workshop is geared towards reversing all types of chronic illnesses. So now, when you detect that there's some paining point, and the degree of pain exactly represents the degree of sickness in the physical body. Even a kneecap, even bones, even they can be detected. Your spinal cord, there are points for it. And so the way to heal is that every day, maybe for about 1-2 minutes, you have to press that same point in a pointed, pulsating manner. And this keeps on sending biocurrent over there to that place for healing. It is like a sleepy watchman, He's low on energy, so he's like kind of dozing off. And then you go up to him and you shout in his ear, or you tap him and say, whatever, wake him up. So you give him a jolt of energy. And this is how acupressure works. Every day, you keep on giving some pulsative biocurrent for 1, 2, or 3 minutes, maybe twice a day. If you're really desperate for rapid healing, you can do it even 3 times a day. And with that, your organ starts taking this biocurrent and it starts regenerating itself to whatever degree it can with biocurrent. Now, biocurrent will go exactly to that place. See, every location in your body is self-intelligent. That means the liver, cells of the liver know they are sick if the liver is sick. Your kneecap knows that it is sick if it is injured. So when you send biocurrent to that organ, it's like giving a thirsty man water. If I have a thirsty man sitting in front of me and I don't even have to say anything. I hold a glass, he grabs it and he uses it. But if a person is not thirsty, even if I offer him a glass of water, he says, no thanks. So that's how this healing works. Sick organs, they are self-intelligent. When they are supplied with prana, biocurrent, they use it to rejuvenate and rectify their weaknesses. Today on my website you will see some pictures of the points in the feet as well, and there's a write-up on my website. This I teach all of my patients and people who come for treatment, because the hands are the most convenient to do this therapy. It's pretty difficult to do it on your ear because you need a mirror and you need something like a toothpick, and you have to be very accurate with it. And probably only gymnasts and the yoga people can kind of turn their foot, upside and press it like that. But yes, foot reflexology, there is a very good, that's the second mode of treatment. And one of my friends here who is seated here today, Nakshi, she's a foot reflexologist. So she treats people, so you have to lie down and get your foot treated. That's also a wonderful way of doing it. This is a chart, the snapshot was taken from my book. It's called the diagnosis chart. We use the workshop to diagnose which of the organs are weak, and there's some other telltale signs also, which I explain to people. From all of these things, you can make out the health of your liver, your kidney, gallbladder, your digestive capability, whether you have fungal growth in your body or not. Here are just some of the pictures of these different organs. So we treat what are called the endocrine glands. They are main glands which are associated with our different energy centers, and that we treat first. They are listed from 1 to 8 or 9 here. use that first because we strengthen the main energy column of the human body, and it is these glands that support the other physical organs very close in their vicinity. So we start by getting energy through these and making them healthy, step by step, up to down, and then we focus on the rest of their organs. So just some pictures of all of these glands. Okay, I'll just browse through this, I won't go into detail. This was for the solar plexus area. It's not an endocrine gland, but it's a very powerful junction of biocurrent. I call it our primitive brain. Adrenals, located at the top of the kidneys. Ovaries, all endocrine glands that maintain even water balance. So I've been using acupressure to help cure all of these. Acupressure just by itself cannot cure all these illnesses because there are other components to healing these chronic illnesses, but acupressure helps in the accelerated healing of all these problems. Now this acupressure as healing modalities, what I recommend in my natural health therapy in this, in the step 4. So you can see there are other components also which are required for integrated and complete healing. In these mechanisms you will also use, besides exercise, acupressure, you will also use energy and meditation and thoughts and beliefs. And here you can see everywhere where I do camps, I always have acupressure as an assisted healing because it is free, you can do it anytime, very simple to do. So this I use in a detailed workshop for all of these illnesses. These 2 slides are from the camp that I did. So all of these remedies and more detail on this is detailed in my book, which I will just talk a little briefly about slides later. Yesterday in passing I mentioned a little bit about the different types of diabetes. So you will see the treatment also varies a little bit. This is my book, so all of the acupressure and these other details what I'm sharing with you is from this book. This is my website. You will get information about the book and a lot of other topics in detail as well, which help. I've given the core basic, that everybody needs in the book, and then certain topics are expanded in the book. The link is given, so you can go to the website and read that part in much more detail. This is a few, slides of what I showed yesterday as well, but about my healing. first with my journey. This is from when I was healthy to when I got sick. And this was the peak of my illness phase. And these are all the things I was suffering from, which were, very difficult to cure. And I was given up like a hopeless case. Doctors would try for 2-3 months on me. After the treatment, I would show no response. Then they would say, no, there is not directly, no doctor will ever say that. But I would get the message that this is what he can do for you, and that's all. This was my state in 2004, because I had to give up work, sit at home, because these allergies were so bad. I couldn't even wear clothes. I used to get irritation all over my body. So my suicide was during that time, when planning for it, when I could only sit in Bermuda shorts on the bed. That was my state. So you can understand why I had that idea in mind. And this is the first thing that started the healing phase. So along with acupressure, a little more information and learning about the human body and food and nutrition helped me heal completely. And so these are pictures of the reversal, the healing phase. And I started, religiously following, what I was teaching. And this many people call reverse aging, and you can see some comparative pictures. And you'll see that I look similar to when I was 23, 24. And one wonderful thing, in the time I got healed, that is 2005, I never needed to see a doctor again. I never needed to take a single medicine. And I tell people, it's not a miracle, you can do it as well, as long as you work diligently for it. There are 10,000 books on health and healing, but either from all those books or from a couple of books, if you come upon the pertinent and right information that works for you, that's all it takes for healing. So these are some of the groups that I have on Facebook, through which I promote this work, and also Buddha, there's a Buddha group as well. There's healers and therapists in Bombay as well, which I recently started 2 months back. And this is Buddha. So this is some detail of the workshop that I'm doing on 23rd. If you would like to come for it, I'm going to keep a registration form over there. Just put down your name and telephone number, email address. We will call you back and find out your interest, whether you would like to join. We will give you all the details and answer your questions also about the workshop. Well, that's what